Welcome to our post-event demonstration of our self-healing networks with Ansible and F5. Our first use case, we're going to highlight the lab environment used in all of the use cases and show how to configure it and reset it to a baseline configuration. The lab used for these demonstrations was built on Packet.net and leveraged using the network simulator GNS3. We have a multi-vendor environment here with Cisco, Juniper, F5, and various web servers and control service nodes. Everything is going to be orchestrated from our Ansible Tower server. The demonstrations and the playbooks will be run from Tower. So here we're going to log into Tower. We're going to have a quick look at the projects. We have a single project here for Ansible self-healing. This is sourced from a Git repository. Let's edit this here. We can see the Git source, right? And also the SCM credentials here that are stored in Tower. The inventory that we're pulling from the Git. Here we're going to look at the inventory that's pulled from the Git repo. So there's groups, our various hosts. And we'll show again that everything is sourced from Git, from the Git project that we have in the Ansible Tower here. Next, we're going to highlight the different templates that we used for configuration and resetting of the entire lab. These are workflow templates. We're tying different playbooks together. First thing we're going to cover off here is the reset of the entire lab. This is going to put it back to a working baseline configuration. We have management access amongst the Tower server, the other monitoring servers, and all the network devices. This is going to allow us to perform configuration, but none of the actual services will be able to be delivered once the reset playbook's done. We'll show the Cisco's interfaces and neighbor adjacencies. Everything's fully converged at this point in time. The F5 is able to talk to the backend web servers, the virtual IPs online. So we're going to kick off the reset lab job here. It's a workflow template, so it's going to kick off two different playbooks. The first one we're going to do is remove all the application configuration. This pertains to the web servers, the F5 configuration, and the monitoring platforms. Once that's completed, since this is a workflow template, we're going to kick off the reset of the network. This is going to remove the back-end, the front-end networking interfaces that allow connectivity to the web servers and the actual application to be delivered. You can see the interfaces on the Cisco are now down. Right, all the neighbor adjacencies from an OSPF perspective are also gone. Right, our workflow template job is done. Right, so now we have a baseline configuration in our lab. Everything's set back to just have management access. The application is offline. The network is not configured from a dynamic routing perspective. The devices are only able to talk on the management network, which we can see the internal management switch is facilitating connectivity to there. Now we're going to kick off a job for configuring the entire lab. This is going to take our base configuration and do the reverse of what we just did in the reset lab. First, we need to stand up the network. This is a prerequisite for application traffic for the F5 to be able to talk to the backend web servers, to stand up the dynamic routing, to ensure all networks can talk to each other within the lab environment. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to configure the Cisco, the interfaces, the OSPF side, bring on the interfaces online so the connectivity is there. We're also going to do the same for the subsequent devices, the Juniper and the F5, right? This will bring on the web server connectivity for web server 1. And with the Juniper configuration, the connectivity to the web server 2 using the backend networks through both of these devices. The F5 configuration is also added, adding it into OSPF and bringing the self IP online. Here we're going to show on the Cisco the neighbor adjacencies for OSPF, and the interfaces are all up. Everything's fully converged, and the lab is fully online from a network perspective. This workflow job will now kick off the application portion where we're going to stand up the web server configuration, the monitoring services, and all the F5 virtual IP and pool configurations. We're going to have a look at our web server here. So here's our web page, our -AI web page. Right, our job's completed. The lab is fully stood up and functional. We're delivering the web app, and it's accessible.